Welcome guys, I'm doing the podcast as well over a couple of platforms here. So welcome to my group, Alignment, Hello Wellness Conference. Wellness Conference, so you missed the first video last week. You can catch up on my group or on YouTube. It was 2 weeks ago and it was on planet Earth. So today we're going to be talking, it's a channel message from Mars. And hello, big shout out to the podcast as well. Hope everyone's doing well on that platform. So we're going to be talking about Mars. This is part of a series of messages that were coming in for this consciousness as we're shifting into this new year. This 2022 is a year of finalising and bringing mastership to our human 3D experience. Now, of course, we're going to be moving through that 3D experience for some time now, but this is really about having what is unconscious to us, foundational, coming through human collective barriers that have been put there over all of our whole experiences. So what's happening now is we have to come back into alignment with ancient knowledge, ancient information. So part of the teachings of the alignment modality, which I'm sure most people that listen to me are fully aware of now, there's many modules, there's a few modules to that, but the point is we work with coming back to the sacred geometry, which is the hexagon, which is the foundation of our physical imprint. And you will notice and we will understand that all life flourishes from the electric magnetic poles or polarization of the male and female. But in order to have that experience, there has to be sacred geometry to fuse it. So what's happening is we are bringing that information back through to make us a safe conduit so we can be human. We're already spiritual, we're trying to become human. And again, this is where the New Age movement has got us mixed up a bit, is that we are thinking we need to ascend somewhere, and I've spoken about this many times. But what's really important now is the grounding and bringing our consciousness into the body, instead of trying to evolve it outside of the body, because that is the reason why we're in so much dysfunction, is because we've always been searching outwardly. Now, of course, that's part of the separation, it's part of the illusion, it's part of this 3D experience, which is fine, but that's come to an end now, which is why we're seeing so many things ending. The way we live, Corona, thank you, changed everything. You know, the patriarchal system coming down on its knees, being exposed, Me Too environment, the feminine energy moving back. There's loads of things. This misuse of power, which we're going to talk about, Mars speaks about. Obviously, we're seeing that now with the Ukraine and Russia. Again, that's, it's another smokescreen for different things going on behind the scenes. That's fine, but that's another conversation. But at the end of the day, it's the old system trying to hold on, trying to keep us in separation, trying to keep us in fear, of course, as if our cells are divided, we are divided, our information is divided, so we can't have full conscious awareness whilst in a physical body when we are misinformed through misinformation. So again, the grounding has to be there to bring this conduit of energy that Spirit are trying to bring onto the planet, to make us a safe platform. Now, we're already moving into it, as many people know. The point is getting human beings to wake up to it. It's already happening. There's nothing that's going to stop it. Unfortunately, I don't like to say unfortunately, because then it creates a divide, but I believe that things could have gone much better if we'd done things differently. But hey, that's again the whole physical experience. So at the end of the day, I think what we need to do is come into alignment with with the frequency that's occurring on the planet at the moment, so that we can start to move in to a different consciousness. And until we do that, obviously there's going to be a lot of things that are causing us to disassemble our consciousness. So the point is that to come into an amalgamation of consciousness, we have to have the baseline settings back in alignment with the soul energy. And until we do that, obviously the frequency around us is always going to be misinformed, so we're never going to feel grounded here in the body, confident in ourselves, and then to take the next step, which of course is moving into a different form of consciousness. You know, and from a physical perspective, obviously we're going to move back out into space. We're going to start to connect back in with the galactic family. This is all very exciting, and you know, this is why things like Star Wars and Star Trek have been seeded in our consciousness, because this is where we are, and where any planet of evolving consciousness is going to move into. It's going to move into that new frequency, and that part of that is, of course, is coming off planet, and we have that connection outside of Earth, but also the invisible world, which keeps the physical world together. So you cannot have, you know, a physical experience unless it's an internal or non-physical to start with. And this is when we come back to those algorithms which I spoke about before, divine feminine, divine masculine, and that fusion of that divine or that original algorithm or the genetic coding. So this is all part of that, the work that we're teaching, but also making it simple and digestible. So even if you don't understand all of this, you don't really need to. All you need to do is have the intention, and then to surrender the fact that maybe we don't know everything, and that we are stuck, we're frustrated, we're confused, we're lost, we're lonely, we're scared. And once we can put our hand up and admit that, and present that vulnerability to ourselves and others, then of course that starts that transformational process unconsciously. And that is really what Spirit are trying to get people to do, is just listen, just come back to the simple aspects of your own consciousness. Be honest with ourselves and say, yes, this is not working, I need help here, or, you know, I am not happy, I'm frustrated, or I'm stuck. And it's that intention with that authenticity that starts to break up that sort of unilateral hold that, shall we say, the shadow energy has over us, or ego consciousness. But of course, again, that was all there as a gift as well, to teach us separation, what it's like to be separate from love or from consciousness. And of course, you know, obviously there is a lot of love on the planet, and there always has to be a balance of the one end of energy, each end of the spectrum. But those, you know, those two ends that have been opposed or perceived to be opposed for our societal programming are now coming together back as one unit, and that's a beautiful thing. And if you can see above all of this, you know, this trauma and everything that's going on the planet at the moment, then obviously, you know, we can come into alignment with what's really going on, and start to feel the excitement and the joy that is underneath all of this chaos at the moment. And when you can feel that excitement and joy, and you can see it going somewhere, that gives you a lot of inspiration at the cellular level, and of course the cells of what creates life. So if you've got inspiration at that level, everything in your life must transform. It must come into alignment, it must come into happiness and fulfillment. And this is what we all are striving for deep in our unconscious. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to read off this Mars energy connection now. This was channeled today. So again, very apt for now. And then what we'll do, we'll just read it off, and then we'll just have a little chat about it afterwards. Okay, so Mars. I am a deity in your ancient terms, as one of war and passion. Divide and conquer has been the misused energy in your human terms, and I have suffered through endless conflict. I was once an outpost for the Galactic Command, and I have had many ancient structures and technology above and within me. I used to provide water for many visitors that would pass through this solar system. I am red because I am passionate at my core, for all life to evolve with passion over hardship. The colour red is now coming forward as a peaceful consciousness, a consciousness that ignites you to feel passionate about all life going forward. Soon your race will reconnect into galactic life, and it's the passion that drives you forward to evolve life, not destroy it. My warrior consciousness has always been to provide inspiration, focus, and divine expression through the physical mechanics in your biological world. My anger has mutated parasites that have been used as weapons, not only on your own planet, but against other life forms too. These parasites can target your brain and immune systems. My consciousness is also in anthrax that has been sprayed over your entire planet. I am opening to you now, so you may heal these aspects of your own consciousness that have been affecting your ancestral lines for a very long time. There are many things occurring on your planet that would bring you to disgust. You wouldn't believe are even possible. But don't be alarmed at my message, but rather see it as a chance to heal and take sovereignty back over your physical experience. The shadow energies are hardly ever spoken about. If they are merely brushed off or labelled as something negative. And there lies the problem, division. My very consciousness has been used to divide and conquer for thousands of years, and it's the division in you I wish to assist. Because until humans balance polarity, they will always be manipulated by those that understand consciousness. If you are unhappy in your life, somewhere down the line it will be connected to me. As some of you know from the teachings of the brain, that loneliness and despair sit within your consciousness. This is direct connection to my energy field. You carry much of the galactic warfare in your cells. I am offering you a chance to heal these aspects of your own consciousness through my will. I am no longer at war, so I come to you today with this gift of transformation. Sit and invoke me in your meditations. Ask me to clear the deep despair and loneliness that sits in your cellular memory and ancestral lines. Ask me to bring passion back into any area of your life that needs love, and allow me to connect into your auric fields to assist you in healing the collective consciousness around war and survival. I'll also balance the polarity of anthrax. It is within most human bodies now. However, it can sit like many parasites and bacteria, inert, without causing any harm, if so directed. What you must all understand is the old model of Earth's consciousness is obsolete. You will not go back to your old ways, but humans must become conscious of their own being, taking time to go within and listen to their souls and hearts. I am only victorious as a warrior of light when you are victorious as a warrior of light. We are more intrinsically connected than you may know. Our passion to serve the light, if you will, has been reignited, which is why so much change is occurring in your lives right now. If you allow yourselves to work with each of the planets currently coming through in these channelings, you'll start to feel better in all areas of your lives. But misusing power on your planet, both individually and collectively, will backfire, because you are in a renaissance of truth. And when truth is presented, humility must follow. That is the natural order of evolving planets and their inhabitants. The dust on my surface is laced with crystal fragments which come from the explosions in wartime. And I lay as a reminder in your human DNA that the misuse of power, when the misuse of power can no longer be an experience, ends badly for all. Suffering on your planet should no longer be a reality, and in truth there is no need to continue this cycle in separation. You are being given a gift on your planet that hasn't been available to you since ancient times. And I wish to finally bring peace back into your warring heritage with my divine love as a being of divine consciousness. So, a lovely message there. So of course, you know, the planets are offering this amazing healing at the moment, and I think it's really important that, you know, we take note of this and sit with these planets and what they're asking you to, well, what they're providing. You know, they can't go against your will like any being, so you have to give permission. So sit there and just have a listen back to this message if you missed or forgotten what to ask for, because it's so important that we come back into alignment, because the planets are connected to our entire being, and they influence us, as we know from even just from basic astrology. And what's happening now is the frequency in the planets wants to become conscious within our consciousness, and not sit at the subconscious so much, because everything is coming to the front. Everything's coming, you know, the truth is being revealed, and that we are, of course, non-physical beings. So we have to delve back into what I like to call reality. You know, this is, like I said, this is illusion. Like so many people have this fear of dying or passing over. Actually, when you pass over and you transition from the physical, you're actually going home in many ways. You're going back to your source of soul body. You know, it's here, we're here on an excursion, really. So again, everything needs to be flipped on its head. But in order for us to let go of this fear that sits in our collective consciousness, that's been ridden through our ancestral line, through everything that we've been doing for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, to be honest, and probably more, millennia, there has to be an unwinding of that consciousness. We can't do it just on our own, because we're not conscious of what is unconscious. So this is why these planets are coming through. This is why the teachings are coming through now. Everything we're teaching is coming from spirit as well. We're keeping all the human stuff out of it, because there has to be a very clear way of doing things, but very, very simple, because everyone's in overwhelm now and struggle. So we're really creating a nice space for people to surrender to, and then to open up naturally with their own consciousness, connecting with their own soul, bringing through their own gifts and power, so they don't become dependent on another being, but become a sovereign being of their entire consciousness. You know, and this is the beauty of what we're moving into. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. So yeah, so what we'll do next, so I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm going to do these every 2 weeks, and it gives everyone 2 weeks to work with each planet. We've already had some great feedback from the moon. If you haven't seen that video, just jump on my group or go onto YouTube, it's there, and just listen to the message there. And of course the moon will get things moving as well. So thank you very much, guys, for listening. I will be back in a couple of weeks, and take care. All the best. Cheers.